What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another Unreal Engine 5 game development live stream where we're working in our Gas Course project, aka Deck Knight. A game built from scratch using, of course, Unreal Engine 5, Blueprint C++, the Gameplay Ability System plugin, and all of that good stuff. So today, what we're going to start working on, because we're not going to do a strictly design-focused stream. We're going to do some implementation today. So maybe on Thursday, we'll do some more design work there on our core loops, but for now I wanted to work on the resources required for card activation, because with the game that we want to mix third-person action with deck building and card activation. And so with that, we will need to kind of gate the usage of cards with some sort of resource. So you need a certain amount of resources to play certain cards. You can only have a max of this resource. You earn this resource passively or actively. You can just kind of gain this resource over time, and you can earn it with killing enemies or maybe other passive cards. Sorry, this was for a tutorial that I'll need to get back to later. So it looks like we got ourselves a bot in Kick. So bye-bye. A lot of bots on Kick, honestly. So yeah. Let's go ahead and get started, because there's going to be a couple different things that we need. And we could talk about that in our design board somewhere in here. This board's going to get messy quick, I can imagine. So there's combat system, car system, right? I can basically kind of outline what I'm trying to achieve here. So we need some sort of card resources. Hey there, Vinny, how you doing? Good afternoon to you as well. So card resources, card resource attribute, right? So how I would imagine it is maybe like a total card. I don't know if I want to call it mana or resource or whatever it might be, but there will be a total card mana. So this would be whole numbers, I would imagine, but obviously attributes need to be floats. It would be like 1, 2, 3, whatever. But then there would be something that works kind of like experience points, I guess. Hello there. How's it going? Hey, Antash, how you been? My guess is Deck Knight is the codename for the previous Gas Course project, right? Yeah, I'm calling it Deck Knight. I don't know if that's a good name because it kind of sounds like Dick Knight, but it's just what I'm going to call it, because it's cards with, action games. So we'll see if it sticks. That's what I'm just going to call it, but, aka Gas Course project. So yeah, we have total card mana. And then I want something like mana, like current mana, or current card mana XP. And then max card mana XP. And the XP is what is going to be kind of gradually increased over time. So, every whatever period of time we dictate, you get 5 XP of this, and then it reaches these max card XP thresholds. And once that happens, you gain 1 mana, like 1 card mana that you can then use to play a card. And then you expend these main card mana to play your cards. And then you go back in game and earn more, I guess. And this current XP, we'll earn it in different ways. I'm wrapping up my core common UI based system. We'll hit state trees next. Very nice. I need to, yeah, my UI sucks ass. I'm not using common AI. It probably should at some point. But for the sake of the prototype, I guess it doesn't matter, but, technical debt, all that good stuff. So current card mana XP. Earned passively. XP, or I should say Y, XP every A seconds. Earned actively. I don't know if it should be like rewarded based off kills or just damage output. Maybe for like every instance of damage you get a little bit of XT. So I'll just put damage question mark, killing enemies. Maybe some cards. And kind of like Slay the Spire, I don't know if cards, like not all cards may need a cost. Maybe there'll be some free ones that kind of maybe do something kind of more or less passively. Speaking of BI, guess whose devlog I've referenced when using the ViewMod plugin. Thanks for that. Okay, well, I'm glad it was useful. I used it, I think, for the health bar, and I'll need to update it, probably. Because I use it for both because I have like a health component, which maybe it doesn't need to be a component, and then I have the view model that kind of pulls from that data. Okay, I'm getting sidetracked. But I'm glad that was able to help you. A view model was something I was pretty interested in. Sorry, I'm kind of thinking with this card cost and trying to talk at the same time. So card cost, like obviously should scale with max card mana. Players, I don't know. Should we let, like, say the player's max card mana they can have is 3 at this stage of the game? Should we allow them to purchase or add cards to their deck that can get, well, maybe, because I guess if we have cards that can passively improve the mana cost or reduce the cost, maybe that will be fine. So X plus N card cost scales with strength. Also, there's gonna be more things to cards in general, like types, archetypes, whatever it might be, and maybe we would limit the number of cards we can have there. Cards can be free. Card cost can be dynamically increased or decreased. So I would have to figure that out at runtime too. Quick question on the Gasp. Did you set it up from scratch from migrating? I'm wondering if all the files from Gasp are really needed for basic loco. Yeah, I pretty much imported everything into the project and kind of rebuilt the everything into the what's it called, the pose search database. So I did all that kind of from scratch using their assets just to learn a little bit about how it's set up. I'm probably gonna have to do it because I want to start using other animations from other animation sets. And what's good about the pose search though is you should be able to kind of throw in like animations and hopefully it would work, especially if they're built from the same library. So we'll have to see what happens, because yeah, with my current character, you know, there's problems. You know, he's not gripping the sword, it's just kind of attached. There's no like combat pose. I want to introduce sprinting and probably change the dodges for this guy to be like rolls or something. So in general, there's plenty of problems that I'll probably want to solve with a different animation set, but that's gonna be for later. Why is he always going that way? Always going towards the camera direction? No. Alright, this is probably gonna bug me and I shouldn't focus on it, but I'm going to. Oh, there. And then we'll jump into the code, I promise. So we're not overriding anything for the no target in range. Let's see if this will work. So it's just going straight below. So it seems like we would need to overwrite this. Because we're calculating construct, warp, transform, no target. Maybe I need to just override that, which I'm doing. So maybe eventually input direction. Okay, so input direction, I think could be non-zero. So I would have to just use the forward vector of the character, I assume. Yeah, because it's returning 0, and we don't want it really to be 0 in those cases. So we have to, I think I do that here, right? Construct target, no target, and I do this check manually here, right? So I could probably, maybe, definitely maybe, do something like this, where let's just see what the commonalities is. So it's good. Forward vector, rotation X. So yeah, we should be able to just do something like keep this here. Oops. I guess we could literally just pass everything in as is, right? Except for Z. Z would be 0. So that should fix our problem, I hope. Gotcha, thanks. I'm trying to avoid getting the project 2 cranky of temp files. True. That's definitely a problem I have. You know, you add a bunch of marketplace assets. Okay, so now that seems to work. He's warping always in his forward. I don't know. Should the air attack always go in his forward direction? Or should it follow the camera? So if I'm facing, you know, the camera's facing this direction, should he warp in that direction? Or should he kind of continue his forward-facing vector? I think for in-air, you kind of want to treat in-air sort of like a weapon. You know, you always kind of want to aim where the camera's aiming. To me, that makes a little more sense. Okay, so you say forward-facing. Okay. Let me, for the sake of argument, try something else. So let me grab all this crap. That's because I'm also not using the cached one here. So it says saying get actor forward vector. I could get the player controller from the actor info, I believe. And then I can get the control rotation. So control rotation is mapped to what the camera is doing. And then we could just get the forward and just connect that to here. What is this connected to? So get actor location. What is this time doing? The distance. Okay. So we do that. So X, Y. Z remains there. And yeah, we'll also use the control rotation. We might have to zero out pitch and yaw. Might fuck some stuff up. But so let's see if this works. So we go like this, and now we're like that. And this is with no explicit like thumbstick movement. If I give thumbstick, I will just go in that motion. But if I don't, if I'll the camera. And then when I'm just normal attacking and no thumbstick, he's just kind of going forward. Maybe that inconsistency is a problem, and maybe that's the point we have to resolve. Like either they both do one thing or do the other. Maybe there shouldn't be a discrepancy in functionality. That might just kind of cause confusion. Let's disconnect the sphere. Okay, so let's jump into code. Let's make that attribute set. We got ourselves a bot on Twitch. Let's just ban you, por favor. Thank you. So we want to do attribute set. So gas course attribute set, and then we'll call it, I need to see what we're calling our other attribute sets. So GASC. Stores. I don't know. Card. Resources. Attribute set. I don't like calling it resources, but I guess that's just how it's going to have to be. So let's create that. Don't open. Just open this one. So, is hot reload doing something? Yeah, let's let it do its thing, let it compile, and then we'll kind of go. So, again, what I'm thinking is, whatever we end up calling it, this total card mana. I don't know. Maybe you guys have a good suggestion for what these attributes should be called. Because again, like I kind of want it to work on like where you have a certain number of points that you could then spend to play a card. But in order to get 1 point, you have to earn a certain amount of this like card X mana XP. And that happens passively, so you'll have like a little bar goes up, and then you reach like the new level, you get you get a new point added, it goes up again 3 points, and then it clamps at some max value. We could say like 4 points max for now. And then you spend the card, or you spend the points to play a card. And kind of go from there. It might have to be based on the class. What do you mean by based on the class? Like I don't want to, like I feel like each class should have this shared common resource. So when I say mana, I don't explicitly mean like a wizard's mana or anything like that. Like each class will have this kind of resource to spend on playing cards. Like, I don't think it should change per class. Like, how you maybe earn more of this XP into the cards that you play can maybe change mechanically between classes. But I want this to be a shared common resource. Yeah, so the term needs to be wider. Like, is it okay for it to just be like, so maybe just card points? Like, internally, I don't know really if it matters, but yeah, when we actually kind of do tutorialization and kind of have information about it, it should sound interesting. Let's look at our health attribute set. Let's grab these. Do that. Then we need the actual attributes, so. So, character, card, resources, set. We don't care about replicating. So F gameplay attribute, we're gonna say current. I don't know. So, delirium, maybe. We'll say current card points. Whatever. Don't need minimal. So we have current card points, and then we're going to have total card points, or max. Maximum card points. Don't need any of those on rep functions. Then we need current card point XP. Descend ferocious constellation heroic formidable channel. What? I was just. Are these just words? So we have all our attributes. We're gonna have to close out of that. And then we gotta pretty much implement these actions here. I want to generate code. How do I? Alright, let me close out of this real quick and reopen it. Because I'm not getting the autocomplete. Words that represent a system. Yeah, I don't know what it should really be called. Like, descend. I don't think so. Ferocious, not sure. Like, right now we can just kind of do monkey brain and just say card points. We should probably also upgrade our writer and IDE. Let's just restart and then get everything going. Sorry, that disappeared everything. I'm looking at Slay the Spire. So they have a thing called score, but that's just the total stuff that you kind of go as you're making the climb. Gameplay, gold, gameplay, relics, buffs, blights, intent, block, energy. I don't think it's energy. Well, let's look at combat. So combat is performed as a turn-based card game. Players use cards from their built deck to fight the opponents. Alright. It's called energy. Do we want to use that same term? Maybe there's like synonyms for energy. Vitality. Spirit. Power. Not sure. Maybe card power or just power. Makes sense. Or energy. Maybe we can call it energy. So once this update finishes, we can update the code to reflect that. The other day I started playing again Dishonored. This game is good as hell. I was playing Crackdown a little bit a long time ago. You know, I got myself a used Xbox 360. Get back into some of the old school gaming, you know. I play the classics. So maybe we can also update our documentation about it. Because yeah, Slate Aspire, thank you for serving your purchase. So card resource attribute. So you could say card energy. Current card energy. XP, max card energy. XP. Then we could say card energy cost. Okay. I don't know why it's taking so long to it. I should have never done the update. I think I'm procrastinating again. So wow, your gaming skills are really impressive. I'd love to be a big fan of gaming skills. Hey, can you add me on Discord? Oh, hey guy from Kick, I'm gonna have to ban you because you sound like a bot. Bot. You don't know my gaming skills. Only mediocre mage knows my gaming skills, and I'm talking team doubles circa 2008 and 2009. Halo 3. That was my peak. Or at least competitive. The Meatloaf. News Chopper 4. All the memories. Alright, we're almost done with this update. It's that tiny little sliver. Oh, now it's applying a patch. Great. Awesome. Now it's cleaning up. Okay. Clean me. Hello, 3D vs UE, or is it just 3D versus UE? 3D versus Unreal Engine? Could be a coincidence. Well, hello. Welcome. Thanks for stopping in. How you doing? So we finally just updated Rider because, I don't know, the autocomplete and the auto coloring wasn't working and it was bothering me. Could be the OCD, who knows. Nice game. Thanks. Wait till you see it in action. So yeah, let's change our names. So card to card, resource, attribute set, totally fine with that naming. But oh yeah, me and my girlfriend, we watched Happy Gilmore 2 yesterday. It was okay. Not the best, obviously. Had Post Malone in it. 6.7. Yeah, I agree with that. It was mid. For sure. So I gotta figure out how I want this attribute set to work. It's not gonna be complicated, but I just gonna have to map it out. Where we say, okay, the player has 3 out of the 4 max card energies, right? And so as he's gaining experience points of the card energy, it'll reach its max. When it reaches its max, we reset the current one. We add one to the total. And it resets. Unless we kind of go from there. Shards. Do we want to say energy shards or just card shards? That kind of rhymes, so I don't know if I like it anymore. Card shards? Might be overthinking that one. Leap on it. Yeah. I'll ponder. But I don't hate it. I'm just thinking I'm overthinking it probably. Yeah, let's look once it's done indexing all this shit, I should be able to put this all in correctly and we can just start working on it. I'll need to make some sort of clear UI for it. I'm also not the best at UI. But once we get this, then we can start giving costs to cards. And gating their usage that way. Yeah, we got to update these here. So we need other attributes for sure. Things like passive card energy XP gain. Probably more, but again, I'm overthinking it maybe. So let's just start trying to get something in game as fast as possible. Let us generate code here. Ignitions, yes please. So we got all that. So let's see how we're handling it in health. I always forget. So we have clamps, right? So adjust for max change. I don't think that will ever happen. Not, at least not in a way that I really care to use this kind of value for. But just general clamping. Don't think so. Free attribute change doesn't anything post doesn't really do anything post here. So post gameplay effect execute, I think, is where we might have to do a bunch of stuff. Because down here you kind of do the evaluation and stuff. So potentially there we would need to do some stuff. So we can grab all this. We're gonna obviously do a bunch of it. That. I'm gonna comment all this out. I need to do some includes. I think we just need extension. No, okay. Extension is what we need for one, but then we gotta do get current. So we'll do get current card energy. Do set current energy clamp. Get current card energy attribute. Or no, get current card energy, and then get max card energy. Like, this is where I think we would need to check to see if the current XP equals the max XP, and then check a couple other things. So let's just do let's do one more check here. So if but now we're checking, okay, if it's the get current card energy XP attribute, we can first check to say, if get current it's like we might need to also pass it over to like the next thing. I think we might need to do like a temporary storing of stuff. So if you get current card energy XP, I think I also need to make a quote unquote like damage attribute, but for like XP. So incoming energy, I could say incoming like energy, right? Something like that as well. Because yeah, with health, we're checking if we're dealing with damage as well. Hey, Prince Hodge, thanks for the follow. I can see you're on kick, and it seems like okay. I'm not interested in any kind of growth and monetization strategy, so thanks anyway. Don't know if you're a bot or not, so I'm just gonna leave it at that. So yeah, we're checking if it's incoming damage, and if it is, then we check other stuff. So it seems like something similar we would want to be doing. going to... Let's uncomment this, but let's take out... Because there's passive healing stuff, right? So, but that's just event saying that we passively healed. So I don't think we care about this much. But here we start to care. So let's go back here. We need the character. I just need all of that. We're checking, okay. Get incoming card energy. XP attribute. Then we see const float local. Incoming card XP. Or card energy. Equals get incoming XP. Then we say set incoming XP to 0. We don't care if you're alive. Then we gotta say this stuff probably is not super necessary. Let's keep thinking. So, okay, we have incoming card energy XP coming in. We store it. Then we basically gotta say, like, const float current card XP for game equals current card energy XP, current value. Let's see. So if the evaluated attribute is the incoming card energy, we want to store that. We get a copy of it that we set to 0. Then we're checking to see your current card XP before the gain. And then new card XP plus this. And then I guess we got to say, you know, if new card XP is greater than or equal to get max card energy XP. And I guess I would want to say maybe like const float leftover card XP. And I would say set current card energy XP, but not to this. We would set it to leftover. +1. I don't know how well this is really going to work. we're saying if new card XP is greater than or equal to maximum. So if it's not else, so if it's not greater than or equal to maximum energy, I guess I could also say, hey, yeah, if maybe I could have like an also if here, so like if get current card energy equals. I have to say if new XP is greater than or equal to max energy. I just have to do like a nested if. That be something like that. Maybe this is made redundant. Not sure. Um. I'm just thinking out loud here. I'm not even thinking out loud. I'm thinking internally. um. So we're getting incoming here. So if the new card XP is not greater than or equal to maximum energy, that means it's less than. I don't think we need to do any kind of clamping. Is that maybe that's enough? Ugh, I'm not 100% sure. And what else am I doing down here? So if the attribute we're messing with is the current energy here, and then we're saying if the current energy XP is greater than or equal to let me just clamp this. We're just gonna have to start seeing this in game so I can kind of work it out a little bit better. So we have redundancy in tags, totally cool. So let's just compile and see what the hell happens. See how long this will take. Oops. What? Seems like this will not work. I had a build error, but maybe that was just a shit luck. I hope there's no like linker errors because I don't know. Those problems are so hard to solve, man. Okay, that worked. I don't know what happened. It's one of those things. So what I need what I need to do next is I need to grant this attribute set to the player. I then need to make some sort of initializer gameplay effect that just kind of sets some of these default values. And then we can just kind of look at the attributes as part of our debugs. And we'll see if it behaves at all like we'd imagine. Here is everything. So let's go. So there's an ability set that we have. So first we need to grant this attribute set. Card resources. Then we need to make some sort of emitter. So GE character card resources attribute emitter. Apply this gameplay effect. Now we go into this gameplay effect and we start setting some stuff. So first one, modifier, obviously it's going to be an override. We will do card resources. So current card energy, we can set it to 0 for now. Next one, card maximum card energy. Override it. Say 3. Then we do another override. We'll do the XP. So get current card energy XP will be 0. We'll work with small numbers right now when it comes to like some of these max ones. For XP, we'll say maximum card energy XP is 10. And then the last one, we'll set the passive XP gain to 3. Just so we have the possibility for there to be a like remainder, so it'll kind of go into the next thing. So, you know, you have 3 points, 6 points, 9 points, and then you have 12 points, but because the max is 10, it'll reset and give you 2 back. At least that's what I'm hoping. Excuse me. So now we also need to create a temporary, well, maybe not going to be temporary, but we need some default passive test here. So we're going to do GE test periodic underscore passive card XP gain. And we will add this as well. So we'll say yes for infinite time. We're going to say every 1 second, and we won't say on application. We're going to modify our current card energy XP. We're going to add it by our attribute based. And it's going to be our backing attribute. Target, source, doesn't matter. In this case, we'll snapshot it. Actually, we will not snapshot it. We will do attribute to capture, XP gain. And yeah, we don't really care about stacking. Hopefully we will see something. So debug attribute, current card energy, XP. Okay. We got 0. Passive card. Oh, I don't know the name of that. Hold on. Let's get rid of these attributes. That stuff here. So passive card energy. XP gain. Is that a good value? Also 0. Interesting. Why are those 0? Oh, because I made them all 0, right? So current card energy, maximum energy, passive gain, I made needs to be 3. Try that again. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21. So we know something's not working almost immediately. So we can at least look as well. Oh no. Thank you. We need current card energy. Oops. Current card energy is never increased either. Let's look at maximum card energy. It's 10. We're not getting behavior we thought. And maybe it's because it's all happening in here. Hey, thanks for the subscription on YouTube. Sita Rani, much appreciated. How are we doing? We got ourselves a cookie. Everybody say hi to Lola. So maybe, like, it has to happen, like, in order for this to work, it has to happen as part of a execution class. Yeah, I subbed. Thank you very much, Dios. Much appreciated. I don't know why. Sometimes I get notifications on here when people subscribe, when others I don't. So, my bad. But thanks for watching. Thanks for popping in. So yeah, I think this is the problem. I think we need to make an execution class as well. We'll need to make another class here, so let's do that. Where's my other execution classes? So systems, damage, healing. Hey, fudge. Okay. You guys can't see the kitty, but she's here. And she's the best. I need to get like a kitty cam. Don't drink my water though. Just gonna put her paw in my water, I'm pretty sure. Let's watch and find out right now. Okay. So there's damage and there's healing. I don't know if it should be under systems or not. Okay, she did. Thanks, Boo Boo. So to task force, damage execution, so card. I spell execution. Execution. Okay. Something like that. Open. We have our card. Execution subsystem. For some reason it doesn't show up here immediately. Oh, live coding succeeded, yay. There's no like refresh thing, right? So can I add? I could do it directly in here. I always forget you can do that directly in here too. That's annoying. Let's go to example. Really only need this, right? I don't think we need the generated no, the core minimal. That. I think that's all well and good. Am I missing like a public? Yeah, I am. Is there a way to like refresh as a solution? Project. For some reason it just doesn't show up. I have to like kind of. It's not. I don't think it's going to compile correctly. Maybe for different reasons, but. I feel like it's going to be a linker error if it doesn't properly know what I'm doing. Linker error doesn't know about this thing. Add existing item. Now it knows. Okay. Can I generate the code for this? Definitions, yeah. So I'll need to do a lot of boilerplate stuff. get, we'll kind of assume damage, right? Damage will be a good reference. Well, we're gonna make something similar. Struck at the top. So gas course, hard energy statics. So incoming. Need to do a couple things here. You. What's the name of this set? You don't really care about the multipliers or anything. What's this attribute name? Good. Double here. What XP statics? That. No. That. Then, yeah, we don't need a lot of these boilerplate stuffs, but this could be where we would, add the XP points together. So maybe I don't need to do that in the gameplay attribute or just the attribute set. I could just do it in the execution class. Let's just grab all this nonsense. I don't ever call super on this thing, right? No. So I probably should make something. Oh, I should probably make something like a card energy XP calculation class. And add that too at some point. But we got 20-ish minutes left, so let's just try to go one thing at a time. So we're doing all this math, blah, blah, blah. But in the end, all we're really doing is outputting, right? We are also eventually resetting damage. No, I think we're just setting that in the execution thing. I think we could just simply do that. We do need to get the damage value though. So we gotta do something like this. The float, we're gonna say outgoing card energy XP. Something to that effect. I should at least pass the data through the gameplay effect and output it to this property and apply it. I hope this will work. So let us try to compile again. Okay, we successfully compiled. Win. And now, if we put this execution class inside of that passive gameplay effect, that will hopefully work. I think we should make a blueprintable execution class, if I'm not mistaken. Let's reopen our assets. Should be execution classes here. I can put here, blueprint here. Energy. So BP, card, energy, XP, execution. Nice. That up, and by default should have all the things we were expecting. Relevant attributes to capture. Incoming here. What are the relevant things to capture for damage, for example? All damage chance to have something. So we definitely want to snapshot that. Do have some examples and stuff here. Or maybe that's where I can actually move this. Do a redirectors. Sure. Okay. Now in here, hoping we can do executions. Let me just look at some of the examples for damage. I think I still have to do a modifier, right? Oh no, it's just under calculation modifiers. Got it. Get you out. Backing data, yeah, we're going to add to it. Modifier magnitude, it's going to be attribute based. It's going to be coefficients, fine. Backing attribute. Snapshot, source. No, wait, we don't want snapshot. We're going to do passive gain. Okay, source. Okay. Let's see what happens. Do we still get current card energy? Okay. You know, at least it's still working. Current card energy is still 0. Maximum card energy. Oh, yeah. So at this point, I should, at the very least, get into my attributes set, right? I'm gonna do that. This is never getting called. You? Alright, so we're getting here. So it's modifying current energy XP. But why? Let's copy that. I'm going to nuke this for a second. But we're still getting passive. Somehow. I think I know why. Because I'm stupid? Probably. Let's paste in our execution again. And I think it is... I made a copy and didn't move it. So if it had type in passive... Oof. Go reference viewer. We gotta put the right one in. Uh-oh, whoopsies. Done. Passive. I think we can nuke this one, right? So in theory now, at the very least, we should get to here. So let's find out. Cool. Let's see what happens. Okay, so we're never actually increasing. But maybe that's a good thing. So let's start. So we get this, we get the local incoming, right? New card XP, is it greater than that? No. So I think that's the problem. So we're basically not increasing that value. So we gotta say, so if it's not, else that current card XP new card XP. I had to walk away. What did I miss? You didn't miss much. We're still working on our attributes and making sure these values are being modified correctly. So hopefully they are now. So we're getting 3, 6, 9, and then okay. Seems like it's working. So we need to make sure, because now it doesn't seem like it's maxing to our maximum. I know you can't really read these values that are printing on screen right now. All right, sorry, first chatter. We're not gonna let. I don't trust that link. I don't think anyone should really follow that link, even though it says YouTube. I don't know if that's trustworthy. Sorry, because I don't think you made GTA 6. So we'll ban you just to be safe. I don't want people clicking on a potentially unsafe link. But yeah, so we're basically going over our maximum card value. So I'm thinking when we're setting the new card energy, like when we're getting here, we're not clamping it, because I don't think we ever get to this. You clicked it, it was just like GTA. Well, fuck, I was wrong. I just want to see when we reach the max. Yeah, so we don't get that value. We don't get that callback because this is within the gameplay effect execute. So of course this won't execute because we're not doing a gameplay effect. So the clamping, I believe, needs to happen probably in post attribute change or pre attribute change. Let me look at some of these other references here. So pre, we're doing all of this clamping. My heart says post, but make sure we're doing everything right. Adjust. So new value. It's pre attribute change, post attribute change. Guess I gotta say, if New value is that. Not sure if that's the safest way. Do I have any other references here? Get cooldown, we're clamping it. Plus attribute changes. Stamina. Free attribute based changed. Clamping new value. Guess we can just clamp the new value. Maybe it doesn't have to be more complicated than that. Maybe that's enough. So let's do a hot reload and let's just see what happens. I think also in here we would need to do, because we're checking, hey, is that all good? But then, yeah, I think we need to do maybe potentially, because I want the energy stuff to stop once you reach that like max value. So we're at level 0, and we get 1, and I'm hoping it clamps to, I forget the value that we made. By default, it's either 5 or 4. So let's see. Okay, so it doesn't seem like it's clamping. Let's look real quick. God, this wind is so strong. Attribute emitter. Okay, so max energy XP is 10. So maximum card energy is 3. So we are really never getting here. Or we're technically clamping here, but it's post attribute change. Hey. So let's just see what this value is gonna, what these values look like. I want to see what happens when we get to 1. So we get here. So new value. So I'm getting just weird shit, it seems. Maybe post is not the place. We'll have to figure this out. So let's do one more try here, and then we'll have to call it a night. Let's see if this will do anything for us or change anything. Gaining the XP over time, we reach 1. Then we'll reach 2, 3. Okay. So it is stopping at 3. But I want the XP. Maybe this should be a check within the execution class to see if we should even be given passive anymore. Maybe I can do it here. So to do, check if we are at full max card energy for sending XP over. So we'll set that for next time. And then we'll start working on the HUD. And then we'll start working on card costs and making sure in order to play them, you've got to have the number of points available. And, start making progress in that loop. So that's where I'm going to end it for today. Thanks to everybody for watching. It's almost appreciated. So make sure to join our Discord server if you ever want to talk about games, Unreal Engine, game development, anything like that. Feel free to join. Make sure to follow here on Twitch if you're not already. Make sure to subscribe on YouTube if you'd like. And yeah, hopefully we'll be back on Thursday. Have a good evening, and I'll see you soon.